Testing 1, 2, 3. Not that I'm gonna do a lot of project stuff, but I am back from India, so I want to put things, like set things back up. Am back from India. Okay, 1 minute. I don't know if I'll just work on this presentation or mess around. Let me grab my stream thing URL. Beeple boob. So, oh, I still have the Christmas horse thumbnail. I will be working on Christmas horse, but for this week and next week, I gotta get classes ready. Weekend stream. Maybe not working on any projects. Just back from India now. Okay, so meow. Hey, dude, how's it going? Let's pop out the chat. So we're back. I got my computer set up. It did get dropped during airport security, which is great. But it just seems like part of the plastic is like the case is just popped a little bit, and I could probably hot glue it back. But hate that. This is my baby computer. Currently I am working on, well, I just closed all my Firefox windows because Firefox was taking everything. I'm writing a presentation in an org mode document, and then I'm going to give this presentation later. I don't know if I'll keep working on this during this stream, but basically there's like a mix between presentation slides and more specific text. So that's what I'm working on, and that's due Wednesday. Monday we have our like work meetings starting back. So yeah, I could try to look through photos, but I have to like open them on my other screen. Oh, I didn't move them. Okay, yeah, I didn't sort my unorganized photos. I have a photo dump script, so I do this. Wait, where's my script? Okay, so I have like a bash script for transferring from my phone to my computer, and I ran that, but I didn't put things from the organized area into there. Also, my picture is very big. Did just this. I will keep playing some Divinity, not right now, but probably when I have more time. Crop. We. Oh no, I'm at a weird size. Hello. Okay. So, I mean, this is my Emacs, as always. I don't think I grabbed my chapstick, which is unfortunate. I always have to have chapstick with me. I have my shelf of stuff. I have my day planner, which is a Hobonichi, and I've been logging things in there. I've been reading through. I didn't finish reading this, but I'm more than halfway done. But Empire of AI. I've already read the AI Con. The AI Con, not the A icon. And yeah. Let me see. Maybe I will look through these unorganized pictures. but I'll throw them on this monitor first. So we traveled on Christmas to India, and then we got back home on the 9th. Computer feels slow. I also have this, I set up a Zotero for my log of various references related to AI topics, because I just read so many articles and stuff that I feel like I need a way to easily reference it. And my computer is being slow. Just open up the image viewer. Oh, well, there's a drawing that's in my Hobonichi. And then I'll go through here. I had to buy new suitcases. Let's look at this in icon view. I know you can't see it, but there's a Burger King burger where this is a cheese patty, and then it has a spicy sauce and jalapenos, and that was pretty good. Let me close Emacs. My various slides. Now Kabe wants to get on the desk. Here's Kabe. Hello, Kabe. Meow. Meow. The cats missed us. They're happy we're back now. Kabe, I can't see. Your butt is in the way. Okay, so there's a burger. Kitty cats. Kitty cats. I'm not gonna show pictures of people because people deserve their privacy. But there are some flowers. My husband's dad retired, so he got a bunch of gifts and stuff. And here's this photo of a bunch of horses. I have photos of food. I did take like scenery pictures that I could maybe use for like visual novel backgrounds, like trace over them or something. Here's a crow. There were a lot of crows. I wanted to be friends with the crows. There were a lot of other types of birds as well. There's a cow. Here's a cat. Sorry that it is slow to load. Meow. Oh yeah, I should open up IRC. I could do IRSSI, but we'll just do this. So if you want to be on the IRC, it should auto connect in a minute. Not that. So Libera chat, and then in the Moosity IRC. That way you don't have to like log into YouTube to chat. Channel free droid Moosity. But yeah, it looks like all my tools are working. I did order a cheapo computer on eBay. Which I guess I can show what kind of computer. I had this computer a long time ago, and we'll see how good it is now that I've bought another one. This is some other one, a different listing. But like these Acer EEE PCs, Acer 1, I don't know. They're very small. I ordered another one because I don't know where my old one is. But basically, I'm hoping that it'd be more sturdy for travel. My normal laptop is kind of too big to be really like it's inconvenient to travel with it in security. It's too big to use on an airplane because everything's so freaking cramped. So yeah, I'm gonna put a Linux on there and probably just mostly use Emacs, and see how that goes. But I do have like a Chromebook that is running Linux, but I didn't realize this when I bought the Chromebook, but the keyboard for a Chromebook is fucking garbage. I don't have all my keys. I need a caps lock key. Um, Here's a milkshake. So, yeah, Monday work starts again. This is some food we ate. The bathroom at this restaurant had it was a very like fancy looking restaurant, and then they in the bathroom just had little groots on top of the mirror. So that was weird. Hi you. Um so yeah, I took a bunch of pictures of like buildings, which I've done that before, but I was trying to think of like just ideas for video game architecture or whatever. We stayed at like a resort on a hill in Utrecht. So it was like this outdoor in each. It's kind of like you had a duplex, so you'd have 4 rooms on each building. Here, I'll show you my husband because my husband's been on my YouTube. But we had a room, and then it had a kind of living room area, and then a bedroom area. And of course, like hotel prices and stuff in India are much cheaper than in the US. So, paying the same amount in the US would probably get you like a room that doesn't have bed bugs. If you spend too little on a hotel room in the US, you're gonna get like I've gotten a place where like the pillows smell weird. um so this is also a fold out couch, and have a little desk there. I got a lot of work done. I got a lot of my class prep done. This was probably well, we spent 7 days in his parents' village, and we spent 4 days at this resort, so that it was just nice to like be able to sit around. And I sat on my computer a lot and worked, but there was like places to go walk around. There wasn't a lot to do, but that's fine. I'm not My idea of a vacation is just sitting around and doing whatever I want to do. I don't really need to have activities. Yeah. Like my ideal vacation would be just to go to anywhere, like a country, and then just have like a place where I live there for 1 or 2 weeks and figure out like, oh, I have my favorite local breakfast place now, or um just wandering around with no schedule, just kind of exploring and being like, this is what it would be like if I lived here. That's his parents, but a little bit far away. But this was like where the breakfast was. The American breakfast that they served was not great. But the Indian food was good. Sometimes I'm so American pilled that I want eggs or bread for breakfast, or like pancakes, but their maple syrup tasted like black licorice for some reason, which I guess, they're kind of far from Canada. I don't know if there's maple trees in India. Um so most places don't have bacon. Some places do in India, but pig is kind of like regarded as pretty dirty. Basically, the safe meat everyone would eat is chicken. Of course, a lot of people don't eat meat as well, so there's a lot of vegetarian options. Um, so I was at one hotel in Delhi that did have bacon, so I got bacon on a club. But for the most part, it's gonna be like chicken sausages. No, they definitely had like a thing of honey, and then they had a thing that was labeled maple syrup, and they had one that was labeled chocolate syrup. chicken strips. Yeah, I mean, like the breakfast sausage was like little chicken things. Um, any kind of Indian dish would have like it'd be either veg and have paneer, um, or chickpeas or dal or whatever. I don't think I took very many pictures of um the breakfast place also would have like donuts. They also had like this random cheese platter, and I sent the picture to my cousin, and she was like, maybe that's because they know you're American. I'm like, yeah. I mean, it was there regardless. There was a family of cats living at that resort. Yeah, so this was in Uttarakhand, which is like it's a state in India that neighbors Nepal. You stopped the game engine that exports. I haven't stopped working on it. I just haven't had a lot of time to actively work on anything. Um, so for instance, like my goal this year is to like literally do a lot of time logging and make sure that I am giving myself a larger proportion of time to work on my own projects versus like not just focusing on work. Um, my current game dev priority once I get class prep done is to finish Christmas Horse because now I'm gonna be releasing it in January or February. We're gonna be late on another late Christmas Horse release. That's good. Yeah. I like working on them. I like making sample things, and then I really should make a game with this. I've just been like, gosh, what do I even work on? But thank you. Yeah. So I'll try to work on it some more. Last time I worked on it was 10 months ago, but I didn't even really work on a whole lot last year. I did some like flashcards and JavaScript. Everything felt so busy last year, but I'm trying to like um do something a little bit more uh like oh, sorry, let me just make a note on something because I what time is it? We are at 17:46. Yeah, and it was like the first full year where like I didn't have mom. So birthday was hard. Um Holidays was hard. Yeah. But I am making like a concerted effort. Like I literally finished all of my class prep. Well, not all my class prep. I rewrote all my labs for CS 200 and CS 235 while I was in India. Um, because, every so often you want to like redo labs. And I'm using previous labs as the examples for this year. Um, and there's still more to prep. And I ended up having to adopt another class because one of my I usually teach two sections of object-oriented programming, and one of them got canceled from lack of registration, so who knows um, how that is gonna go. 6 months, oh, 6 months is a long time. Let me see if I can get like a good view of this. So here it's Uttarakhand, and then here's New Delhi. So part of Uttarakhand is also like very flat, and then up here we have hilly area, and so it wasn't like at the top of a mountain, but it was in the hills, and so we got some views of mountains. So yeah, and then I don't even know where Prina is. I've been to Bengaluru and then mostly like the Delhi area. I've been to Agra. Um, so Here, I'll show some pictures of my buffet meal. But this is the sort of thing where like I could trace over this and then build out like a scene for like visual novel art and then throw that on my Creative Commons game assets collection. I might split this out actually because I'm just gonna have everything in here. Um yeah, I should split this out. I should have like Playdate 2-color art, 1-bit art, and then I have like visual novel art. So I could do another set for that and just have like these kind of interesting building views. And so this was a salad and then this was macaroni and cheese. And then like Mutter Paneer, Dal Makhani. So just hung out a bunch. Yeah, I mean, we ate a bit. Oh, I took a picture of this because I didn't like the name. It's like, it looks like ramen, but it looks like ramen noodles. I do not like the name Slurpee Strings. So here's one of my breakfasts. It's like, here's some potatoes, some tomatoes, a chicken sausage, a cold coffee, some pancakes, and a donut. Because, and then the one day I wanted like a chole, like a chickpea thing for breakfast. They didn't have the chickpeas. But you could also order like doses and um, why paratha. Yeah, in some restaurants in India, you can get, well, you can get scrambled eggs or you can get omelets there. You just have to order the eggs because it wouldn't be like an American restaurant where they just have scrambled eggs and everyone's eating scrambled eggs. Here's the like little back balcony we had. So I set up my computer over here. So next time I'm not going to bring my laptop. This thing's going to stay at home and I'll just I have like a small flash drive that I can take. I have stuff on my GitLab. Our room did contain a AI art print because I was looking at it and I was like, this doesn't make sense. What's with this umbrella hat? And then what's this garbage over here? And then some people online found the like freepix.com posting of this image. And I was like, great, yeah, so luxurious. We got prints of free AI generated art on the wall. Cool. Um, that's another view and the moon up there. Um, hanging out by the pool, but it was too cold to swim. Down in the village, which was not in the hills, it was like 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then up here, it was a lot more sunny and probably closer to 60 degrees, which we can look up. 40 F2 Celsius. Oh yeah, we got some new shoes, but they weren't really that much cheaper. Rye did get some Woodlands, which look like Timberlands. 40 Fahrenheit is 4.4 Celsius. So that was the coldness of the village where it was like very cloudy. Where in the hills we had a lot more sun, so it was 15 Celsius. And these numbers make no sense to me. Why four amount cold or 15 amount cold? um there are a lot of birds. Here's some more food I ate. um I ordered like a milkshake and they gave me a chocolate milk. There were again the resort cats, so just kitty cats running around. They were friendly. They mostly wanted food from you. I did get bitten. Uh, but I have had a rabies shot and a tetanus shot from late 2024 when I got bit by a chipmunk. So my thumb is doing okay. Feels fine. Basically, I set my bag here down and it has the little USB. And one of the cats came and tried to eat that. And I instinctively like tried to save my data. I was like, no, my data. And my thumb got in the way. So this is the second time I've had a finger get bit by a wild animal. And so I need to stop doing that. Because rabies vaccines last a few years, but not forever. So I'll try to stop petting the wild animals. Yeah, with the chipmunk, I would like, I give peanuts out in my backyard, and I was for a while handing peanuts to chipmunks, or to the specific chipmunk that would come up to me. And like once I was out of peanuts, I mean, I guess, fingers kind of look like peanuts, kind of the shape of a peanut a little bit, and I got bit. Yes. I will I've learned the lesson twice. I need to not do it a third time. um on our way back from or into the village, or sorry, into Delhi from the village, I got bored, so I started just taking pictures of like branding and stuff. None of these are like all that interesting, but I do like the building architecture of some of these. So like if I was building a video game, like why not have like there's this kind of overhang here and then like this whole top building and then a big sign up here. Like we kind of build, especially like a medieval RPG, everything kind of looks the same. Oh, is this the video? This is the image. Um, I did take a video of a monkey eating some candy or something, I don't know, on top of the gents' toilet at the Moga Punjabi restaurant that we usually go to. We did see a few elephants, but one was like in the jungle just doing its thing. A couple of the elephants I saw were like dressed up and like touristy, uh, not the elephants weren't tourists, they were tourist attractions. Um, so yeah, a lot of these other pictures are just airport stuff. A finger from the last person. Well, Rye has been bitten by a monkey when he was a kid. So, I mean, that looks kind of like a nut or something, like a half or a slice of a fruit, but I don't know. The airplane we were on the way back, the 15-hour flight, the people in front of us had a leaky uh overhead compartment, which bodes well. Here I took a closer picture of the leak, or a zoomed in picture of the leak. And then this part being broken off of nope, this was Emirates, which when we went in 2020, like February 2020, we did Emirates, and I had a good time there. They had the good airplane games. I did not play the airplane games, but they had the same games this time. But it felt even more cramped than normal. The seat arrangements were like a 3, then a 4, then a 3, and we got put in the middle 2. So we had strangers on either side of us. Yeah, I wish it would be easier just to find my own videos. If I look up my name, but I have a video where I played a bunch of these DTI brand video games. Burp, burp, burp. So, I also the layover in Dubai kind of sucks. Like, so normally when you're on an airplane, when you have a connection. You get off your airplane, you're still in the secure area, you go to the next gate and you just get on the next plane, or you have to go to another terminal or whatever. And you don't go through security again because you're already in the secure side of the airport. But for Dubai, there was like another security bag run through thing, and then to get to the gate, there was another security check where they checked your bags manually, like with their hands, and some people got patted down. Um, and then you were in the like containment area for your gate, and you couldn't leave to go to the stores unless you want to go through the security again. So it wasn't like full on like main security, but they still did like another bag scan. They went through their bags. Someone found an apple soda in my bag, which I forgot that was in there. I was like, damn, I could have gotten to the States with an apple drink. Oh no. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna do another Dubai layover. The Newark, New Jersey layover wasn't too bad. We had to go, yeah, we had to go from Kansas City to, ugh, I don't know why I booked it this way. We had to go from Kansas City to Charlotte, and then that went to Newark, and then we had a 7 hour layover in Newark. And that one was nice. There was a lot of tables with power outlets, and the stores were like right next to the gates. So I just like sat near our gate, had my laptop hooked up, did some work, and then where I could go look at the food and the other things, and then we'd like switch off, and he'd be with the stuff, and then I would go look at things. But yeah, I haven't really gone through my photos from this time, so they're all disorganized. But I have like, this is my external hard drive, and I have another hard drive. So, don't just save all your stuff on Facebook. This is the hard drive I filled up trying to back up my YouTube videos. So I bought another little solid state hard drive, which is this one. And so you can see like every so often I just pull all the photos off my phone and then, save them in here. I have a bunch of different archived things. So yeah. But otherwise, I mean, school starts, well, meetings start Monday, which I need to look at the schedule for the professional development stuff. Oh, actually, let me look at these unorganized MP4s. Maybe I have some of the videos. Again, don't want to like show other people. Oh, wait, let me open with celluloid. Oh, well, that one didn't have a good frame rate. What else we have? There were a lot of pigeons. This is the monkey, I think. It's so loud. It's a monkey eating stuff. I also posted it on my loops.video. I have my elephant video on there as well. Which I don't know. Is this the yeah, this is the elephant we saw just hanging out. This is the tourist elephant. This is the one that is touristing to come watch the humans who are captive on the road, stuck on a 2-lane road, 1 lane each way. So everyone was like also stopping to take pictures and stuff. Can you even call it a room? Yeah, so I don't have a whole lot of like media because, we go to India every so often, so I have a lot of photos from other visits. Do I have anything else interesting? Here, let me maybe look at this Hobonichi. So this is my day planner. I've been excited for this since last year. I grabbed it in September. Don't mind me, I'm also just wearing my Sailor Moon hoodie and my Dragon Ball Z pajama pants. I'm being a full weeb right now, specifically from the early 2000s. And then, so I've covered up my business card stuff, but I have drawings. I'm going to try to draw more and just put it in here. Photos, my calendar, so like just keeping track of stuff more. I stole some clippings from the Indian newspaper and I threw it in there. But basically, this is going to be my entire life. My previous year's book was like too small to take good notes. I do a lot of like time tracking, so I'm going to be doing that a lot more. And basically, I drew like a little pie chart for next week because I'll actually be here all of this week. So the main sections of my life, we got sleep. You got to sleep maybe 8 hours a day. That's like 33% of your week. Work is supposed to be 40 hours a week, so that's 25% of your week. Then I also have like growth things with whether that's like cleaning the house or going to the dentist or brushing my teeth regularly, taking my meds, I don't know. Meal planning. I'm bad at meal planning. That stuff. I have a section for projects and a section for social and a section for relaxing. So my goal is to like visually keep track of how much work I'm doing versus everything else and making sure I'm not allowing work to kind of overflow into everything else, even though I'm going to be the committee co-chair for the AI task force this semester for our school, which means that I'm working on, I was working on this independently of that, but this is what I'm working on for Wednesday, is just, literacy on AI. Like, what is it versus the hype versus the marketing? What are the concerns about it? Just trying to aggregate all of the articles and reading I've been doing into stuff. So I feel like my role is going to be mostly like being the person who knows about computers and explaining how things work. And we've also like surveyed students, we've surveyed faculty and staff, and just trying to like make our teachers and staff aware of like one, students aren't going to like it if they know you're like giving them feedback generated by AI. Like, I already knew that just from watching like TikToks and stuff, like, or being online and seeing students post about stuff. And then there's been articles of students demanding like refunds for classes where the teacher just gave AI based feedback, or if the teacher is using AI to generate assignments, then it's like, well, why are the students paying for things? If they could just be like, hey, ChatGPT, generate me an assignment. And then, I'm not saying that's going to be good quality at all, but there's that. I, again, am only halfway through reading this. I am surprised at how you can have a whole company full of what is not ableist language. How do you have so many people believe in AGI in a place? The idea of like, we're going to have an artificial general super intelligence and it's going to take over the world, and we have to compete to make sure we do the good AI god and not the bad AI god. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, everyone is a thing. So yeah. Oh yeah, I need to buy some more markers because the village kids capped my markers wrong. Look, I have these mild liners I took like some cheapo beaded bracelets for the village kids, and I also bought like little notebooks and pins to give out, is like, encourage them to use it for school or writing or drawing. Then they realized I could draw because I have like drawings in my notebook. And then so I ended up having to draw like 50 Pikachus and 50 Doraemons and all of that. And then they wanted to color, and all I had were my mild liners. But some kids would take like the small cap and shove it on one of the other sides, like the wrong side, and then I couldn't even get it off. So, but it's fine. I get to buy some new markers. Ignorance precedes wisdom. Getting wisdom hurts sometimes, and most people choose to stay in their ignorance phase rather have delusions and fantasies. I don't know. It's like I'm not special as a programmer, but I feel like just from my experience in software, one, there's so much bad code even without AI. Like, you trust stuff that other people write. Uh, Two, the importance of predictable algorithms, like where you don't want undefined behavior. Like, that's a whole thing, right? You don't want the undefined behavior. Um, and like this LLM stuff is like, it's a big math operation, and I just try to explain that to people, and then some people are like, okay, well, I'll just use it for processing data. And I'm like, I wouldn't even trust it for like doing something with an Excel spreadsheet. I will parse that spreadsheet or convert it to the CSV, load it in somewhere, process it myself with some Python, and I know not everyone can do that. But I wouldn't even trust like a chat bot to crunch data. I wouldn't trust it to summarize things. Um like I basically never use it now. I use it when I am writing like a test question and I'm hiding either like bad Unicode or a hidden prompt in it. So I use it to test that. But previously, when I tried different things, like, my textbook previously was all in LaTeX. So they were text files, and I wanted to convert them to org files because now I use just org, and then I export to PDF. So something I had tried to do was say, hey, whatever AI, here's my LaTeX file, convert it to org mode, which is, just kind of changing how you do your bolding and your italics and stuff. And it kind of did it, and then it added additional text. And I was going through it, I'm like, you've just like plagiarized for me. Like, I just need you to convert one thing to another. I'll just write a script to it. Load each line, replace, like, \text it, blah, blah, blah. Change it with this in org mode. So it took me a while to kind of like iron out all of my conversion stuff between these versions. I was like, I can't even, like, another thing I ran into that I saw some students doing was I had an assignment where I asked students to create a fraction class with like a numerator and denominator, and I forgot to put in that they need to have a constructor in there. Like, I had like getter, setter. I forgot about putting a constructor, so like in the main code, it was causing problems. Students then went to ChatGPT or whatever, and I was seeing this. So let's say this is the constructor. And it would do if D is 0, set denom to 1, and then set numerator to numerator. It was doing something like this, and I was like, no. That's gonna get you such a hard to find logic error. No one's expecting that. No one's expecting if you give a bad denominator, it just becomes one. I just like spat everywhere. So it's one of those things of like I've seen people use it. I'm just like, you have to really double check what it gives out. You can't just let it uh try to replace a task for you. I guess you're replacing your task as an author to a editor, and you have to be a really freaking good editor. I'd rather just write it myself. And just trying to emphasize that. So in here I talk about like, we've had the term AI and we have like an idea of what AI is from movies and books. And now we have this thing being marketed as AI, and it's not AI. It's not intelligent. Yeah. But even that, like, you could maybe just use like a templating system to, if you needed like unit tests that follow a pattern or something. Um, but like dangers of anthropomorphizing AI. Um, so I'm still like filling all this out. And honestly, I have this section here, practical use in jobs. I'm like, I don't even know. What would you need just a bunch of words for? Like, you have to quality check everything, which sounds worse than just doing it yourself. Like, it's like when you write an essay in English class or whatever, and then you have to read your essay backwards. Like, you have to read from the like bottom line up so that you actually see the errors that come up. Because if you just read it front to back, you know what you're expecting. And so you kind of just read over any kind of typos, double words, inconsistencies. So you have to like read it backwards so you're seeing it more in a novel sense. And I'm just like, my cousin says that she uses it to like, she'll write one unit test and then have it generate more. But again, it's the sort of thing where I feel like it's harder to review and not make assumptions about what is supposed to be there and what you expect to be there. Patterns encoding cursor helps me write code faster. Maybe. I haven't used it like on any coding, just or I've tried to use it as a search engine, like, hey, give me some information about how to use eLisp in Emacs in this way, and then it gives me stuff that doesn't work or doesn't do anything. And I am gonna fill these out because there's like a lot of ways that having chatbots opens up like an attack vector. Everyone talks about intellectual property, all this stuff. Do we have X feature? I mean, you can. I just don't know if I'd be able to trust, like, I could be like, give me an example of this thing. And if it's a there exists X in the set and it returns me a thing that exists, then that's fine. But if I say for all X in set, give me all X in set, I don't trust it to be able to do that. If that makes sense. Like, I don't trust these to summarize text because I feel like it's gonna miss out on things. I have tried, so like Google Notebook LM was giving itself away for free or whatever, which I'll bring this up. Let me see if I'm need to log into my student account, which I think is where I put my stuff. But with Notebook LM, like, I guess you just can't give it an entire PDF document of your entire course because it's not going to do good with that. But so this one will generate like audio and video overviews and some of the stuff. Let's see, is this the video? Some of it went in a weird way. Some of it talked about coding like magic, and then it was calling like expressions magic spells.
Have you ever looked at a video?
This is loud. I might not have audio set up on OBS.
Game or a piece?
But then it just generates a slideshow. Well, usually it did for the other things. Oh.
Small with the absolute big.
And then it kind of puts things in like a nonsensical order. So you would definitely have to give it like, here's a subset of things. Because here's like, okay, we're going to cover structure, output, variables, decisions, repetition.
This little detail can save
and then it like,
words to turn it on.
Okay, so it just covers things
Master these 5
arbitrarily. Then it immediately goes into CN and getline.
Forging your.
And then we're at part 4. What is an object?
All of that almost the same, but they have
what's a struct in a class? So like this would be useless, and then also this is ugly.
Program from breaking.
If a student just like took my textbook and uploaded it. And I've tried it with smaller things. Is this an audio or this might be audio only.
To the deep dive.
But I have notes on it elsewhere. I could try it again. I did. This was last year. But parenting advice for the digital age. Keep your kids off the internet. I know I really wanted to be on the internet when I was 12. I didn't experience that much bad compared to... I feel like it's worse now that there's still bad stuff back then. Especially being a 12-year-old little girl on the internet. But, yeah. So that's what I'm going to be working on later today. I don't really know what else. People are commenting, saying something looks like a dog. Oh, cat. Oh, how large is my cat? Pixel's kind of big. But she's also sitting in front of me, like in my lap, but she's not here now. But she wants to hang out. I don't know if that showed up because I also didn't just realize I have my fucking face over the thing. But I was looking at this. But yeah, I have a notification. But I don't have like a concrete roadmap for projects besides like playing through Divinity as like my downtime activity. Finishing working on Christmas Horse. And then from there, I assume I'd have like March and April and May free. I am doing more kids game programming classes in the summer. So I'll develop that some more. I was trying to build out some like web-based games. And I haven't updated my whole website yet, but these are just some really small Tick 80 games. And then like vocab flashcards. I haven't built this out. These all still just link to the itch.io pages. But kind of just ADHD projects all over the place. Trying to collect them in one spot though. Anyway. Yay. And then I have a housewarming party to go to sometime later in the day, and I have to go get gifts for that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to socialize anymore. I was just around people nonstop for the last 2 weeks. Yesterday, got to just be alone. Except with cats, who are also wanting my attention. But, yeah. I'm back in the States. Are you getting a coat or blanket for the house to warm? Am for the house to warm? I don't understand the question. Oh, for the housewarming party. I see. No, I think I might get like coffee cups for this person, for this acquaintance that I don't know super well. But then that's extra brain load of interfacing with acquaintances plus their guests, so then I have to interface with other people too, people I don't know, which is not my strength. And it, if it was at work, it'd be like, well, I can just talk about work. But if it's a bunch of people from random places, like, I don't know what to talk about. I'll just hang out over here. So hopefully we'll just drop by for a very short amount of time and then get out and then come home and do whatever. But okay. Next weekend, I might have something more interesting for a project. And I can talk about how the talk on AI goes and how I also have a talk on active learning strategies. So I keep volunteering myself for things, so I'm trying to not volunteer myself for things anymore this year. Stop doing that. Work on my games. But I have like some project ideas listed. I don't know. Try to draw more art. Do whatever. I don't know. It's also kind of hard to feel like what are life goals? Especially like the past couple years, none of the IVF worked. So that's just kind of like, well, I guess we're just hanging out. I guess I'm just working and doing stuff. And then what game do I work on? What do I prioritize? So I did buy these Sharpie markers that are pretty good. But yeah, it's hard to think of projects to work on or to feel like it's worthwhile to work on a specific project. I don't know. That has been a challenge since when I started working professionally, just because it was like, well, I can't spend time thinking about projects because then I can't get work done because I really want to work on these projects. So then I like shut that all down. And I feel like since my early 20s, I haven't been able to be like super passionate about any specific game idea. So I'll like work on stuff, but again, it's all like really small things. I don't have any kind of like magnum opus that I want to work on. Or I have things that would be like, this would be nice to work on, but do I want to invest the time in this? Do I want to rewrite Rawrinth or whatever? So just kind of aimless malaise. But maybe if I allocate more time for me to focus on projects, like maybe I can come up with stuff better. But that's like, I don't know, something I'm gonna have to meditate on or something. All right. Well, thank you for joining me in this slideshow / rant thing. Still getting back to normal sleep schedule and all that. But I'll see you all later.